Well, we're going to go ahead and just officially kick this off. And to do that, I'm going to put on my Santa hat. Welcome, everybody. We are really excited to have you all with us at this virtual event and talk some tech gift ideas with everybody. It's that time of year. Here, let me see. There, that's better. And I'm going to go ahead and just get a PowerPoint started that we'll sort of use as we step through what we're going to present today. All right, so I'll share my screen here for this. Okay, tech gift ideas. A very short agenda. So we're doing a welcome and intro now, which we'll do for just a couple of minutes. As I do in every one of the events that we put on, we always just try to go over supported tech for anyone who may not be familiar with DODD's terminology. It will end up potentially being related to even some of the gift ideas that we talk about later. And then the main portion of our event is going to be our tech ambassadors presenting some suggestions they came up with themselves for technology gifts. And we'll try to preserve just a little bit of time near the end for folks, as I mentioned a minute ago, to come on and ask questions live if they would like to do that. So I appreciate all of those questions. We like to interact with our attendees as much as we can. All right, so just sort of a brief intro and tech ambassador commercials, just in case we have some folks here who are not familiar with us and what we do. So what is Tech Ambassadors? It's a grant project commissioned by the department. And the whole idea is that we've got a group of people who are what we call passionate users of technology, who are providing peer mentoring in all around the state of Ohio. So we have this team of 9 tech ambassadors. The primary thing that we do is we hold events just like this one all around the state. We do both in-person events and virtual events like this one. And we're going to talk about the technology we use with our peers. I'm going to stop just really briefly and introduce all of the folks that we have with us here today. And for whatever reason, I cannot see you all. I'm going to just do this from memory. And if I forget somebody because I'm not actually seeing you, please do let me know. So we have with us Renee Wood. We have Jen Schlegel. We have Chris Cooley, who today is suffering from a little bit of a flu, and he's going to have our interpreter speak for him when it's his turn to cover some things. We have Tanner Huff. We have Marcy Straughter. We have Brittany Joseph. And is that it, guys? Did I forget anybody? I'm going to take that as a no, I did not forget anyone. Wonderful. Okay, we just want to mention some events that we have upcoming. We're planning a virtual event in January that will be much like this one. We have not officially picked a date for that one. The next actual in-person event that we have is a rescheduled event. We originally had this one scheduled in November, and we're going to move this to near the end of February. On the 23rd, we'll be down in Athens. So Tech Ambassadors Chris Cooley and Tanner Huff will be there in person with a lot of the technology that they use. And they will be able to kind of share that in person with folks at that event. And lunch will be provided, so we hope the folks close to us will join us for that one. And then we're going to have an in-person event in Dayton. So that'll be in March. We're going to be, I believe, at Wright State University in Dayton. We have not picked an official date for that one, but that will be sometime in March. And then the next place that we're going to be is in Akron in person, and that will be in May. We'll also have some other virtual events sprinkled through there. And the key to this whole thing is you can always see what events we have officially scheduled and what the dates are and be able to register for those events at our website, which is ohiotechambassadors.org/events. So we hope you enjoy the one today, and we hope that you will join us at future events. Aside from our events, though, just want to run through other ways that we can interact and other ways that we can help. So the whole idea is we want to be here for that audience of individuals and families of folks with developmental disabilities across the state of Ohio. So that's one of the reasons why we like to try to schedule plenty of time for Q&A in each event. We also love to attend other folks' events, and we get asked to do that all the time, whether they be advocacy meetings, staff meetings, either just for SSA or really for other county board staff as well, conferences of all kinds. We got to go to the Tech Summit this summer. We went to Synergy. We've been to other conferences as well. We always enjoy getting to share with people at those things. But the biggest goal we have is really to meet with individuals and families who are thinking about technology, what it might be able to do in the lives of a person with developmental disabilities to help them live more independently. Okay, but for any of those things, if you'd like to have our help or have us attend an event or just have a meeting, what you can do is go to our website, ohiotechambassadors.org/request, or there's a really, really big orange button on every single page of our website that says book an ambassador. Just click or tap that button and then fill out a little information on a form just to tell us what you're interested in, and we'll do our best to try to schedule that for you. Okay, let's run through a little supportive tech, and then we're going to get to the main event here and start talking some tech gift ideas, and we'll get to hear from our tech ambassadors on that. Okay, so like I said, we always just kind of run through this as kind of a baseline for the discussions that we'll have. DODD, if you look at their website and many of the publications they put out there, they'll use the term supportive technology. And when they use that term, you should think in terms of two things that make up supportive technology. One of those two things is assistive technology, which is probably a term many of us are more familiar with. And I've got here that's equipment that assists a person with a developmental disability in the activities of their daily life of all sorts. But equipment may or may not be a great word for that. It really is anything that assists that person with what they're doing in their life. Makes that easier, or in some cases possible for them. Okay, so these might be really special adaptive devices, induction stoves, and I mentioned here medication dispensers, med alert devices. In other words, things that were created particularly for a particular type of disability or risk. But they could be mainstream consumer devices too, things that any of us might have and just use for convenience in our daily life. I mentioned digital assistants here, like all of the Alexa stuff and Google Home. But it could be really just any of these mainstream devices, or some of the things you'll actually hear as gift ideas in a minute fit into this category too. You might want to buy this even if you don't have a developmental disability, but those who do have a very specific use for it. It really doesn't even have to have batteries though, or use electricity, right? Could be a fork, a rail, pillow, and a couple of the things you'll see on our list today fit into this category. They don't use electricity at all, but we would consider them assistive technology because they help folks. Okay, so assistive technology is one half of supportive technology. The other half is remote support. This is a really important service that can be delivered by any one of about a dozen companies in the state of Ohio right now, where you have remote staff who are actually delivering service. They're trained support staff, and primarily they do this over two-way audio or video with a person who's in the home by themselves. Okay, so they can speak to that person, they have the person's plan, they know all about them. And in most cases, it involves this remote staff person having access to technology that's in the home that can help them assess the safety of that person who's there by themselves. So I mentioned things like video cameras, sensors, security systems, door locks, thermostats, all of the kind of technology that would allow that remote person to say, yes, I can feel really confident that that person is safe. And I know what to do if I can see that they may not be safe. All right, everybody. It's that time. Let's begin to hear from our tech ambassadors about their gift ideas. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to introduce each gift, and you're going to get to hear from the tech ambassador who suggested that gift. They're going to describe it to whatever extent that is necessary, and really maybe especially give a brief comment on how that gift might help them personally or another person with a disability. We're going to organize these things into 3 categories. We're going to start with stocking stuffers, which are, of course, things that are physically small that would fit right in a stocking. In most cases, these are going to be pretty low cost ideas. And then the second category is wrap it up. So this is something maybe a little bigger. You'd wrap it up in a package with a bow on it. And then the last category is what I'm calling big ticket items. So these are things that are kind of my own little price point here was anything over $100. If you've been really, really good this year, and maybe Santa would bring you one of these bigger ticket items. Okay, so we'll take each of these categories one at a time. And I'm going to drop in the chat later this URL. So at any point, you guys can click this. This will bring up the actual document where we've got links. You could purchase any of these items that you're going to see using this document. Just click the link and it would take you right out to the website where you can actually buy these things if you're interested. Okay, so let's start with stocking stuffers. And the very first thing that we're going to do is have Renee Wood talk about a mascara shield item that she wanted to recommend. So I'm going to open up the website for that.
This is a very simple device. I can see a young woman who has a little bit of trouble with her head, and she wants to put on a mascara. This just helps her be a little bit more accurate. It's a simple device, but I can see me using it when I was younger.
Okay. So use it when you're younger. Hopefully everybody can actually see that, the page where you can actually buy this. You can see it's very inexpensive, $11.99. And you would no longer use this, Renee?
No, because I can't use my hands like I used to. But when I used to be able to use them, I could see me using that.
Okay.
So I would keep it on a stick and put the stick up to my eye and use it.
Okay. Very cool. So just in case any of the folks out there that might have a little bit of trouble, with manual dexterity and might be able to use this device. There it is, right? Assistive technology, but no batteries. All right. So the next one, and I think, let me take a second. Can everybody actually? All right, I'm gonna try to share this a little bit differently, so we don't have to bounce back and forth between 2 screens here. Okay, can everybody see the mascara shield now? And then if I do this, can we see my slideshow again?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
George.
All right, good. So next we're going to hear from Chris, and he's going to talk about the talking watch. And I'm going to get that up on the screen where you can see it. Okay, there we go. Chris is going to have our interpreter speak for him.
I can't see Chris, so I'm just going to switch my view real quick so I can see Chris, and voice for him.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. Okay, go ahead.
Jeff, you're on mute.
Sorry. This talking watch is good for using if you're in school and it would help make people have more confidence. And the confusion with the friends and things would be lessened. I had a friend who said, "What is that watch? What is that?" And I told him it helps for me to feel more confident, and it helps me to know like what time it is, and it just makes me more confident. And I'm thinking a person could use this watch in many different ways and many different circumstances.
Okay, that's great. So the watch speaks. Will it speak more than just the time, Chris?
Yeah, the watch, it speaks it will also like if you have an alarm set, it'll speak the alarm so you can hear that. Or
okay. All right.
And it has like a timer if you're cooking or something.
All right. Great. Wonderful. And if you can see, this is really inexpensive, $18.34. So that might be a neat thing for somebody with a visual impairment. Okay, great. So next on our list, we have Tanner, who is going to talk about some pizza scissors that he found. I don't know. Hopefully these are small enough that they could fit in a stocking.
Yeah, they're small enough to fit in a stocking. They don't have that big of a box, but where they're from and how I found them and how I found a lot of technology that I was like introduced to is from a website called Freakin' Reviews, which is a YouTube channel, but he did a review on these, and as you see, they're from Dream Farm, and how they work is the black section goes under, like between the pizza pan and the pizza, and it just glides, the bottom part of the blade glides along the pizza pan, and you cut it like a like pair of scissors would cut a piece of paper. But I was shocked when I got them last week and they did exactly what what I got them for.
Oh, that's great. So you actually have these, Tanner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've used them already.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're so good that I want to make pizzas all the time. like I used to not want to make pizza because I would not be able to cut it without someone's assistance, or like not get the like regular pizza cutters to cut pizzas well enough that I could like do it on my own. But these like have changed my outlook on making pizzas.
I love it. That is great. I mean, I might get that. If you can see, this is only like $35. So that might be worth giving a try.
Yeah, the red ones are cheaper than the black ones.
Really?
And the cool thing is if anyone has a self waiver, they should be able to get them through that, like I did.
Okay, very cool. All right. So on to our next one, which is again Renee. And she wanted us to know about this little back scrubber.
This
Talk about it.
Again, this is real inexpensive, but I can see myself washing my bed with that independently. But also, when I was younger, I used to wash my own hair, but I couldn't do it with my hands, so I would put shampoo on my washcloth and use my washcloth, so I can see putting shampoo on that and washing your hair with it too, or even under your arms if you can't reach under your arm, that would work too. I can see many uses for this.
All right, I love it. $6 for that. Probably pay more for shipping than you do just for the item itself. You need to get that one in your mascara shield together. All right, very good, very good. All right, next one is going to be Chris. He had this really interesting idea. This is the least expensive little set of GPS trackers I've ever seen. You want to talk to everybody about how these work, Chris?
Yeah, my parents, when they go out, they get confused or go out with friends. Sometimes it get confusing. And they wanted that for their home, the GPS tracker. It really helps the person to feel more confident, more safe as they're going out and about. And they can enjoy their city, their town much more. And you don't need to have your parents with you to follow you, to track you if you have this GPS tracker.
So if I'm correct, I think in reading this works with an app on your phone, right? So your phone can look on a map and see where this tracker is. So if you were to attach it to your dog, that, you'd always know where your dog was. But even if you had it on a family member, or I've even seen people put these on keys. So in case they ever would lose their keys, they can find them easily.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, neat. And only
Yeah, if you don't
$7.99.
Yeah, if you tend to lose your keys in your home, this is a really great idea. So you can find out where your keys are, and even if they're in the couch.
Yes. All right, man. You could put it on your remote control. Anything you lose.
Yeah, you could put your shoes, whatever.
Love it. All right. Very good. Next stocking stuffer here. And I think this might be the last one in this category. This is Jen is going to talk about something that I had not seen. It's called the Jot Pocket.
Hey everybody. So this is a good one for everybody, but specifically for me, I think about it in terms of limited dexterity. So I love this company called Boogie Board. Not to be confused with like the toys you play with on the beach. This company, they make boards that either using a stylus or your finger, you're able to write whatever you want on a little touchpad. I have one with me. They're very light. Like you could hold them with one finger, but you're able to use a stylus or your finger to scratch down whatever you want. For me personally, it's been better than sliced bread because it's fundamentally how I got through college. Being someone with limited dexterity who has only good use of 4 of my fingers, so I can't hold a stylus, but I can scratch down whatever I want with my fingernail. So with the one I've got here today, I wrote you all a holiday message while we've been sitting here. But fundamentally how this works is it's very low fidelity in terms of there's no battery, nothing to charge, etc. But what you do, as shown in this picture, you write whatever you want on the screen, whether that be your shopping list or a diagram or whatever, and you can take a picture with it on your phone, etc. But when you're done with whatever's on the screen, you hit that button on the top, and the whole thing erases. The thing I love about this company is that these come in all shapes and sizes. So I have one the size of a whiteboard in my home, but I've also seen them be very small and low cost. So the one that we're looking at here today, I typically buy around the holidays at Office Max, Office Depot, Staples. I've seen them at Sam's Club, basically any big major office supply or other retailer. But for context, this here is about the size of an index card. So it's very easy to take with you and carry around. Some of these have kickstands on the back so you can prop them up. Others have magnets so you could put them on your fridge and write yourself reminders. But typically I get this for about $10 and I could not recommend it more if you are someone who needs to write something down.
Love it. Right. So you can see it at Amazon here. It's $14.99, down a little bit from their normal price, probably as a Christmas special. So wonderful. Good one. All right. Next, we're going to move to a category of our items that are maybe just a little larger. So I call these Wrap It Up. Maybe these would be something that you'd find underneath your tree. And we're going to start out with Renee talking about a swivel seat cushion, which is not something I think I had seen before. This is a neat idea.
I see this as a video was sort of like they suggest a car, which I can see a book car for people who have trouble getting their legs in a car, but I can also see it for a table. It's hard to turn a chair to sit down and then turn it back towards the table. Of course, unless you got wheels on the chair, but then the wheels kind of slide out from under you. So this is a safe way to turn on and share. However, I was also thinking about putting it on the bed so you could turn yourself around and get up in the bed, and then you could take it out from under you and throw it on the floor or something. I don't know. But I think this is a very versatile device that could be used for many different arrangements.
Okay, that is awesome. You know, I'm glad to hear you describe some other possible uses for this than the car's like seat that you can see it in. That seems like an obvious one, but I knew you would have 2 or 3 other ideas as well, Renee. I was not disappointed. All right. Next one on our list is, I'm going to take one real quick. And this is a device that any of us might have. It's from Amazon. It's an Echo Show 5. So it's basically in one of their Echo devices. You can talk to it like you would any of their Echo devices, and you know, it'll do all of the same shopping lists or reminders. It'll tell you the weather, it'll play you music, all of the things that the old school Echoes will do, but it has a little screen on it as well. There's a built-in camera that would let you actually, if you set it up this way, view what's happening. So if I did this remotely and this device was in my home, I could actually see video of the room that it was in. And they make this in all different sizes. I've got a larger one I'll just demo for you in a few minutes. But this one, they call it the 5 because the diagonal measurement of the screen is 5 inches. So it's little got it, you know, about that big. And it's only $34.99. As you can see here, that is a pretty big discount. I think this says it's normally $85. So right here at the holidays, this might be a really neat thing to get as a gift for really almost anybody. But of course, you know, for people with physical limitations, these devices and the voice control they have can be really, really powerful. All right, what do we have next? Oh, Chris found this device called a grabber reacher. I'm going to let him talk to you about that one.
Jeff, you'll need to unmute.
Sorry about that. If you go into, or if you're in a wheelchair and you can't reach something, this is really good to help you to grab and reach things. Or if you can't hold something, maybe that's round, or you can use this grabber to kind of to help you carry that if it's an awkward shape.
Yeah, you can see the design of this thing. It looks like you might even be able to pick up like a cup with it, or a tumbler or something. Is it big enough to do that, Chris? Do you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. It really helps make, you know, your bedtime, making the bed even easier.
Oh yeah, that's great. And you get 2 in this package here. So for $19.99, you get 2 of these. You could put one in your car and one in your house somewhere, right?
Yep.
And it looks like that is actually, you could retract it or extend it out, make it shorter or longer. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, I think up to 8 feet.
Oh, wow.
8 different levels.
That is great. Great. Okay, let's see what we have next on our wrap it up list here. Renee's going to talk about a bathtub mat. Again, we've had a lot of these items that don't use any electricity or battery, huh?
No, I love these things. I don't only use them in the bathroom. I use it by my bed to transfer. Because even though I got carpet, sometimes my feet slip on the carpet. So I always keep a bath mat by my bed because it really does help your ability to stand up by yourself and not slip. I also take it with me on trips when I go to a hotel or any kind of a trip. It folds up real easy and fits in a suitcase. And I like all the colors they got too.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That's neat. You got a lot of choices to match whatever your bathroom is. And I didn't even think about rolling this up and taking it with you. I mean, for $11.99, maybe you could buy a couple of them and have one that's kind of ready to go on any trip.
I've done that for the last 20 years when I travel to Columbus for any kind of business, even if it's a day trip, it helps you transfer on and off the toilet. Because sometimes the bathrooms are really slippery.
Yeah. All right. Wonderful. All right, let's see. I think that's all for this category. Now we're on to our big ticket items. So here's the ones where you're really going to want to make sure that you were good this year. If you're going to ask Santa for these. First one of these we're going to have Tanner talk about is a 3D printer. If you've been with us on our events, you've heard this come up several times, and maybe even this exact model.
Yeah. I actually have wanted to get one for close to about 5 years now, but I have been I've been researching them and what they are good for. If many people haven't heard of these much, they're good for people that engineer like different things for themselves, for other people. And I have found them from real small, probably like $100 ones, to thousands of dollars from like companies that I've seen on TV. But what they would help me do is engineer like devices that me and my wife could use on a everyday basis.
Do you have an example of one of those, Tanner?
Well, one is a desk that I actually had thought of back when I was going to college at Marshall, because they typically don't have like tables outside the classrooms. So I would be waiting on like a class, but wanting to do work, but I couldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to do work with my, like, sitting in my chair because of not having a table. So I thought of engineering a table that flipped up from the side of the chair, which would help in many ways. And then I have also thought of a swing away like cup holder idea that typically the cup holders are like fixed in a particular spot on a chair, and they don't swing away to get you closer to a chair or to a table, like at a restaurant or something like that. But this would swing away like the joystick on a power chair would
Okay.
swing to the side.
Perfect. I mean, those are great specific examples. And I thought that was important for you to actually describe one or two, that would be relevant for you.
Yeah.
These things can make so many different items. We actually have a couple of our tech ambassadors who have made, Jen and Brad both, who have made devices that they use pretty regularly. And Jen just messaged me while you were talking about that, Tanner. You can see this is $186 on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
That Micro Center actually runs specials on this exact model several times a year and sells it for about $99.
Oh,
So in case you're really interested in that, wherever you might have a Micro Center. I know Columbus and Cincinnati both have them. I'm not sure exactly where else in the state those might be.
Yeah, I might just order it online if I'm not up by Columbus or Cincinnati.
Yeah. All right, great. Next on our big ticket list, we're going to have Marcy come in and talk about Ring doorbells for a minute.
Well, I have a Ring doorbell. I have remote support. So with my remote support provider, with my individual service plans and stuff, I was scared to stay home by myself. And so they got me a Ring doorbell with my waiver dollars. And what it is I can see who is at my door. Like, if I don't know them, I don't have to answer. I can just put my earphones back on. But if I know them, I can just walk up to the door and let them in. And it's a really cool product, because if you have a physical disability or it's hard for you to do things or get to the door right away, that's a really good thing to have. And the cameras are really, really clear. And then it has like where you can see who came in like an hour later or something like that. And it shows like movements and things like that too. It's really, really cool and a good product to have, especially at wintertime, in the summer, and other types. It's really cool. And the doorbell, you can hear it with different devices it can be plugged into, where you can see them also on your video also. So it's a really, really cool product. And it's really not that expensive, but if it is at a time wherever you go to get it, it's a good thing to have, because it's like for safety and different things like that. And I know I love it because it makes me feel safe and I'm not scared.
Good. Well, I appreciate that, Marcy. couple of quick things to point out here is that one, you can see that Amazon will package this with the Echo Show 5 that I mentioned a minute ago. And what you can do with these two is pair them up where you can actually talk to the Echo Show and tell it to show you the camera feed, and it'll just pop up the camera. And or if somebody will ring the doorbell, it will automatically pop up the camera feed so you can see who's there on the Amazon device. I will point out too, there's really several versions of this doorbell. Some with removable batteries if you need to have the battery recharged. And those you can see that's more like $190 rather than the $95 here.
Like you, George, like when the battery runs out, it'll tell you on your email address, and they'll go, your battery is low. So you take it off, and you can have one either like installed in, or you can get the one that sticks to your door. There's several of them.
Right. If you're replacing an old school doorbell, you may not ever need to recharge that battery. You can connect it to those wires, and it may keep the battery charged. All right, great.
Like I have the one that's just like on my door, and it's not the one that's drilled in.
Right. Okay, thank you. Next, we are going to have Brittany come on and talk about Apple Watches.
Yes. So I have been a longtime Apple Watch user, and I am the tech ambassador that supports a lot of our families. I'm a mom of a son with autism, and while he is now 15, when he was little, he was a runner, and he would run away from me. And so I wish Apple Watches had been around when he was a little guy, because I would have certainly put one on his wrist because of all the different GPS capabilities that they now have. And the fact that you can set reminders to pop up with medications, reminders, especially potty training. I know that we were potty training him when he was a little bit older. And with medication, it certainly helps to have reminders for him throughout the day when he does need to take his medications. It also has different things that you can download apps for mindfulness, relaxation is very important throughout the day. And you'll see that there's different types of Apple Watches. They go as far as almost $800 in price, all the way down to $249 in price. But there were some really great holiday deals, and I think a few of them are still out there on Amazon. So you can see that Apple Watch SE, which does pretty much everything I think a young adolescent or young adult would need. Those Apple Watch SEs you could find on Amazon this year for $149. And it looks like on Apple right now they're $249, but they were selling for about $149 on Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy this past Black Friday. I haven't looked lately, but the prices really came down on those. They also can show your heart rate, your steps, so that you're staying active and you're up moving around, can't sit in mom's basement and just play video games all day long. So a few suggestions there, but Apple Watch has a variety of capabilities, connecting it to your iPhone. And like I said, I like the fact that there's reminders that can be set, GPS capabilities, which I feel are very important. And there are a variety of different accessibility options, which I could talk all day about.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. That's good basic info. And I appreciate you describing, some of the specific features. I mean, I guess in this case, you wish you had, but how those could be useful to folks now. All right. What do we have next? Oh, okay. I'm just going to take a very brief second. We talked about the Echo Show already. I came across this version of it that I had not seen previously. So I have one at my house. It's what they call the 8. So it's just a little larger. This is actually a 15-inch screen. So the same as a laptop, your standard sort of laptop screen. And this one is thin and meant to be mounted on the wall. So it'll do all the same things that the other one would, but you could see somebody maybe in a kitchen or somewhere else actually being able to use this to call up YouTube videos or watch shows, if they had it in their kitchen, for example, while they were cooking. And sometimes, you can use YouTube to call up people that will show you how to make a recipe, those types of things. And this is $185. So I just thought that was an interesting sort of version of that to bring up. All right, we got a couple more to get to here. So let's take a second and have Tanner talk about this range here that is on sale at Best Buy.
Yeah, this range is something that I've actually been trying to get for the past couple years, because what it is it incorporates the best of both worlds for me. The induction cooktop side of cooking for me, plus the ability to let my wife be able to start have the oven turn on, heat up, all those functions by voice or by Wi-Fi, because it connects, I think, to your phone.
So there's an app that goes with it, Tanner?
I think if it's not Wi-Fi with an app, it's Wi-Fi with maybe Alexa even. I think
I know Samsung has their own app they call Smart Things.
Yeah.
So I bet you could access it in there.
Yeah. But there's what's cool about this is because it has the air frying feature. So you can you can air fry with it, and it'd be like a stationary air fryer. So
Wow.
if you don't have a lot of counter space like we don't, you can have an air fry plus the conventional oven and the stove. And what's cool about the stove, if anyone hasn't seen my induction cooktop videos, is that if you have a pot on it, which you have to have induction ready pots and pans, but if you have a pot on it and it is turned on and you hit the pot by accident and it goes off the burner will shut off immediately. So little kids or people with autism or stuff like that have the want to touch a lot of stuff, you won't have to worry about them burning themselves if they if you slide the pot off.
Yeah. That's great. And that's one of the reasons why it costs what it costs here too, right? The combination of that really important safety feature and all of the other things that Tanner was talking about. So that's a pretty expensive one. You really have to be a good little boy or girl for Santa to get you that one for Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, we have a couple more on the list that I want to make sure we get to as we're nearing the end of our time here. we're going to have Marcy talk for a second about her August door lock.
August door lock, I have one. How I came to have one is it's hard for me to open up the door with my left hand and to work it with the key. And so in my plan with my service coordinator and my remote support provider, with my waiver dollars, I got the August door lock. And with the August door lock, it comes with an app. It has an app. You can go into the app store and you can download it, and it has a thing where it's a circle, and it's like to lock it is red, and green is to open. And what I can do along with my remote supports with it is, with my remote supports, they can see if my door is locked and unlocked. If I forget to lock my door or something like that, they can lock it and they can see it. And that's one thing that's really cool about it. And it's really good with safety. And it really helps. You can lock it from on your phone, or you can lock it when you go to your door and unlock it. And it has a little cube thing to it to make sure it's like on track. It works with Wi-Fi. And so,
and you can see here too that there's versions. There's a regular version here. It's about 127, and then a version with a deadbolt that's a little more. It's about $172 here. All right.
Yeah, it's a really good product, a good one to have.
Awesome. Well, we got one more that I think is really neat, and this is something I had never heard of before. So I'm going to let Jen describe what guided hands is.
All right, I have a bit of a theme today where all of my ideas have something to do with dexterity. But for context, I don't have a waiver, so every piece of technology that I have to pay out of pocket. And so basically, I track technologies that I want to try all year round for coupons. So I rarely pay the full amount for anything. So I'm very happy to admit that I paid completely full price for this item because there aren't any current coupons. But I believe it to totally be worth the price tag. Guided Hands is a system that someone with limited dexterity can place their hand on, and using as rails, they're able to guide a pen, a stylus, a paintbrush on a surface, whether that be paper or a tablet, so they can do written work like paint a picture or work with an app on a tablet. I did my Christmas shopping early, and this is my present to myself. I'm very excited about it. Why most people haven't heard of it was it was actually started as a student project by an engineering student in Canada. And I will admit, I'm very happy with their support. They're a very small company, but they caught an issue with the billing of my order before I even did. And I got an email from the CEO about it. So if you do order this, it might take several weeks because it's coming from Canada. But if you want to try it before you buy it, the lending library associated with Ohio State University actually has one that can be checked out to borrow.
Wow, that is awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's also pretty lightweight, so it's about 3.5 pounds. So it's easy to throw in a bag and take with you. Additionally, as you can see this hand where it's holding the pen there, as part of your order, you're able to take a questionnaire that they have many different options of how the handhold will be. So if you're an individual who, let's say, can only keep their hand closed versus open, they've actually designed several different handles, whatever your need may be.
Yeah, that is super cool. And if you get a chance, if you're interested in this and you get a chance to visit the website here, there's a really nice short video of about 3 minutes. If we had more time, we might actually just show that for everybody. But it's very easy to understand how it works and what the different options are if you look at the video there. So, all right. That is awesome. Well, we went a little bit longer than we intended to. What I'm going to do real quick is just run a poll. And for anyone who needs to go, we'll let you go right after this. Let's see, where are my poll questions? Just one question for everybody. There you go. Would you attend a Tech Ambassador event on New Year's tech resolutions in January? That's kind of what we're thinking that we might want to do. So I'm going to let that poll go for just a second. I did already drop the PDF, the link to the PDF at our website of all of those gift suggestions and all of those websites that we were looking at during our event today. So feel free to grab it out of the chat there.
I just run the food.
And I'll tell you what, we may, I think what we'll do is we'll hang around for just a couple minutes. We understand that, because we scheduled an hour, some of those folks have to go, and we'll give you the official thank you for joining us in this event, and hope we see you at a later event. We'll give the official thanks to our wonderful interpreter, Jeffrey Johnson, for joining us and helping Chris to speak today. Thank all of our tech ambassadors for working on some of these suggestions. I hope these are useful and interesting to folks. I know I found them to be. So like I said, we'll wave goodbye in just a second, but we'll just hang on for a minute in case anyone really has a question that you'd like us to answer after hours. All right. Officially have a wonderful holiday season and a wonderful Tuesday. Okay, so I did get a question in the Q&A here about tech resolutions from Lori, maybe wanting to know what those could be. And that could go a lot of different directions, Lori. It could be a situation where people have a resolution to obtain a particular piece of technology they've wanted. It could be a situation where maybe somebody has a New Year's resolution to, use some technology they've already had in their life on a more consistent basis. You know, maybe pursuing help in using technology, maybe trying out remote support if they haven't done that. So there's a lot of different ways that could go. All right, I don't have anything in the Q&A right at this moment, so I'll just hold on for a second or two in case someone's typing another question for us right now. Okay. Well, thanks again to everybody. Thanks again to all of our tech ambassadors and our interpreters. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you around.